Shut up and sit down.
We are back inside Wisconsin. Trevor Thomas, John Anderson, Bo Ryan, and Will Ryan. Guys, Inside Wisconsin is about the people, the stories, and the patriotism of America's Dairyland. And when we opened the show, our first guest was Coach Barry Alvarez, and we talked about how he just got Wisconsin. You guys just get Wisconsin. What does Wisconsin mean to you, not only in your basketball career, but obviously raising families now here as well?
For me, it means family. Just being back in the motherland, like I like to say, after a 13-year hiatus, taking stops at North Dakota State, Ohio University, and Wheeling University, where I was 2 years ago. Just being back amongst friends and family. I met my niece for the first time about a month ago. My second youngest sister, she got married about 3 weeks ago. So and then all the connections you have with high school coaches, family, friends, some of the functions that I've been at, the steak fry, the Coaches versus Cancer galas, the last couple of weeks, and then getting people involved in GB basketball, getting season ticket holders to renew their tickets and getting them excited about GB again is a lot of fun, and just so thankful to be back.
Well, for me, coming to Wisconsin from the Philadelphia area, I said to Kelly, boy, the people around here are awfully nice. Is it going to be like this in the entire state? Are the people around here in Madison, are they typical of the population in the state? And sure enough, I'd go to do speaking engagements, high school banquets, different camps, satellite camps, and found out that the people in Wisconsin are just genuine, and they're very understanding. They're patient, more patient. When I say this, I'm talking relatively speaking. And so we fell in love with Wisconsin right away. And when I retired, it had 40 years on the to get ready for the pension. They had to put the number of years. I didn't even realize that we had been in the state 40 years. I mean, it just flew. And I also got 2 years for military, so being in the service, and it just felt like home the first month we were here. People just made us feel comfortable.
Are you fully immersed? Like, would you do a Philly cheesesteak or a fish fry? If I really, put it to you, you got one meal.
Well, I would do a Philly cheesesteak, but not with Cheese Whiz. I still can't believe that people think in the Philly area that a cheesesteak would have Cheese Whiz on it. It's either American or provolone on a cheesesteak. Right. And as far as fish fry, Friday night fish fries, you can't beat them.
How are we as a fan base? Are we a smart fan base? Do we appreciate a good charge, or are we just once you score and get ahead, then we'll catch up with you?
Now, people in Wisconsin like to see their players getting on the floor, playing tough, playing hard, playing smart. I found that out a long time ago. And of course, you can say, well, doesn't every state have? No. Here in Wisconsin, if your teams are playing hard and smart, you've got them, and they will support you, and they will help you through the tough times and revel in the really good times.
And just getting those tough-nosed Midwest kids, blue collar work ethic, diving on the floor, taking charges, being in help side, playing smart, playing together, taking care of the basketball, high percentage shots. There's no question we're trending in the right direction with our team. We're excited to continue to recruit them and bring in high quality kids.
Yeah, Coach Alvarez talked a little bit about that, how he had to be sure to never lose talent from Wisconsin. And Bo, we know obviously that you made it a point to keep good talent in Wisconsin. How does that work now with GB? And maybe what was your philosophies, both of you, from a Wisconsin talent position? How'd you recruit the state?
Well, I just, to me, it was common sense that if your family was closer for 17 years, 18 maybe, and if they go to a school where that family grouping whatever the makeup is, can see you play and come and be a part of it. And, afterwards go grab a milkshake and a cheeseburger. To me, I always thought people would play better. They could, they wouldn't have as many things on their mind, which I think can help a young man or a young woman over that threshold of leaving this safety net from your high school days, going into college, trying to remember what it was like in 1965 when yours truly matriculated to college. And that's why keeping guys in the state locally, it's one big happy family, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever the sport it is. It just seems in Wisconsin here that people bond easier.
Well, when you're trying to go get kids, and obviously, Bo, you dealt with this too, because at Platteville, you go after this kind of player. At Wisconsin, you go after this kind of player. But GB is a D1 program. So now you got to fight Wisconsin and you got to fight Marquette. How do you pick your battles in there?
Well, battling them, I think that's pretty easy. I think kids would rather come to GB than those schools. I'm kidding. Wisconsin's got a lot of talent, a lot of talented prospects. Do most of them grow up maybe envisioning themselves wearing a Badger uniform or Marquette more so than Green Bay or Milwaukee? Maybe. But there's only so many scholarships to go around. There's so many roster spots. So, we'll go toe to toe with those schools, to try to get a kid or two. You just have to build those relationships and show the young men that how they fit in your system. And maybe you get one of those guys over a Wisconsin or a Marquette. But we're also very realistic. And in this day and age, you have to recruit everybody and make them a priority because of the transfer portal. Maybe they go to a high major school and it doesn't work out. So they enter the transfer portal and maybe you get them on the back end to come back home to Green Bay or back to the state. So yeah, like I said, we're realistic, but we'll try to go toe to toe with anybody. Just as long as the kid fits our culture, fits our environment, and we can help him succeed.
You can't help but feel for a guy now in Coach Gard. I mean, guys, we know that you're close with them as a family. Bo, you handed the program off to Coach Gard. Will, he was your freshman basketball coach. And now to see this news of these damn cell phones apparently are recording things in private conversations. How does that make you guys feel as guys in the mix? You know them personally, and hell, you coached for all these years.
Is anything sacred anymore? I mean,
right?
Oh, hey, like you go check Twitter or Facebook or something, and all of a sudden ads pop up because they're listening. They heard you talk about going to a certain restaurant. All of a sudden, you look at your social media and you're like, "Why is there an ad for the restaurant you talked about?" So I think they're all listening.
Guys,
I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Guys, I don't have Facebook. I don't have a Twitter account. I don't have what's the other
Instagram.
I don't have any of that. Everything isn't always seashells and balloons. It isn't always. If you could have seen some of the practices, that McGuire had, and some of the exchanges with his players, and it was pretty open, and it's kind of what goes on with a team. We're all adults. And what's really strange is to think that somebody would put that out there when all it does is if I'm a coach of some professional team and I'm looking to maybe give somebody a tryout, or I'm looking to give take a look at somebody, and you got a player here and a player here, and they're both about equal, and then you see that they said things like they said, that GM or that coach of that team is going to go, well, I'm not taking that kid. I'm not taking that young man, because if this is the way he feels, and the idea of passing it on to being somebody else's fault, it just doesn't make any sense. So whatever happened there, I have no idea. Whose ever idea it was to record that. But that's a locker room. That's a lot of things that are said in there over the years. If you talk to anybody that's played and been through a season, 4 seasons, and there's a lot of things that go on, but in the end, what's the result? Is a person better for the experience? Did you work as hard as you should have worked? Do you feel that my assistants were good teachers? Did they give you things to help make you better and make you better on and off the court? Those are all questions that only teams can answer and individuals can answer after their experience or while the experience is going on. Greg Gard cares more than any coach, as much as any coach I've ever been around. So there is absolutely nothing wrong on his end with his approach to coaching and teaching and his mentoring, and the same thing, with the guys around him. If everybody is in it together, let's move forward. And let me tell you something. I was at practice a couple of days ago. Wisconsin's going to be pretty good. They're going to surprise everyone. I was very impressed.
Let's go to a high note before we take a break here. Just, Bo, what were the 2 Final Four weekends like?
That experience is something, well, obviously, that I'll never forget, because I kept looking at the players and I kept looking at the fans and I kept looking at how everybody was so doggone excited about getting there, and knowing that it's like the pinnacle. It is the Final Four is still, to us basketball people, the ultimate. And it isn't best of 3, best of 5, or best of 7. It's one misstep, one bad game, and you're watching from home. So it was exciting. It is revved up so much over the years as far as how it's covered, what's covered. You get to know everything about everybody that's in the tournament, and it's really a great experience, and especially for the fans. And the fact that they made that commitment to go to the big arenas, just knowing by the donations and the contributions to, after that year, in 2015, we raised $1.5 million at our Coaches versus Cancer. Mm-hmm. People were much more outgoing. The university received more money in funding and for endowments. So the way I looked at it was, there's a lot of people that benefited from those Final Fours. And, oh, yeah, by the way, the team had a good time.
Back with more on Inside Wisconsin after this. Helpful critiques, ideas, great stories, people we should know, the great bar in your town, the fish fry you want to know, the fish boil, anything that you want to reach out to us with. We are happy. We are here. You can be the inputters. We're here to listen.
Shut up and sit down.